Hello, Aditya here from TCET Shastra. I am going to talk about the challenge partitioning for odd multiplication. The problem statement is you are given an array of integers a. Is it possible to partition a into two subsequences s1 and s2 such that sum of s1 into sum of s2 is odd? Here, sum of S1 denotes the sum of elements in S1 and sum of S2 is defined similarly. Note, S1 and S2 must partition A, that is, S1 and S2 must be non-empty. Every element of A must be in either S1 or S2 and S1 and S2 must be disjoint. Input format. The first line of input will contain a single integer t denoting the number of test cases. Each test case consists of two lines of input. The first line of each test case contains a single integer n, the number of integers, that is the number of integers. The next line contains n space separated integers, that is the element of the array. The constraints given are as follows. Talking about the output format, for each test case, print on a new line the answer. Yes, if the list of integers can be partitioned into two subsequences satisfying the condition and no otherwise. Talking about the sample input, here number of test cases is given as 2. The first array's length is given as 4 with the elements 1, 1, 2, 2. The second array's length is given as 6 with the elements 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. The output is yes and no. Talking about the explanation. For test case 1, where the array is 1, 1, 2, 2, we will distribute this array into two groups, that is S1 is equals to 1 and 2 and S2 is equals to 1 and 2. The sum will be 3 and the product will be 9. Since the product is 9, we will print yes. Talking about second test case, when a is equals to 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, there does not exist any S1 and S2 which give odd result. Therefore, we will print no. Now, before talking about the code, what my approach is to solve this problem is to determine when the product of two sum is odd. There is only one scenario. Both the multiplier and multiplicand must be odd. That is, odd into odd gives odd. Since we are multiplying sums in this problem, we need to identify cases where the sum are odd. A sum is odd if it includes an odd number of odd elements. Here we are tasked with dividing the array into two groups. For this division, to produce two groups with odd sums, the total number of odd elements in the array must be even. In other words, the total count of odd elements must be the multiple of 2. Thus, our goal is to count the total number of odd elements in the array. If the count is even, we will print yes, otherwise we will print no. Talking about the code, the first input is an integer t representing the number of test cases. Since we do not use n directly in the solution, we can ignore this input. After that, we will use splitting and processing the array to produce the array. Now we will use a loop to count the number of odd integers in the array. After we have counted the number of odd integers in the array, we will print no for 0 or odd number of odd integers and yes for even number of odd integers. Now let's run this code. Congratulations, you passed the sample test case. Hence we have passed the sample test case. Now let's submit the code. Yes, we have successfully submitted the code and the code has been accepted. Thank you.